Peter Vanelli coming to you from the paddock here at Yonkers Raceway in New York. We're going to take an advanced look at Tuesday afternoon's races, specifically races 6 through 10, all 1 1/4 mile races with 12 horse or 10 horse fields on the trot. And we're here with with Jason Bartlett to take an advanced look at his drives on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thanks, Pete.
Now, Jason, we're 7 months into the year, and let's know for the record, Jason's at the top of the North American driving standings. And on Tuesday, the first one of the race we're going to look at is the 6th race, and you're driving a pretty good one here. Lorenzo Dream, an open caliber trotter who drops again now down to the non-winners at 12 level. You were aboard in his last win at the non-winners at $25,000 level when he beat the very good Dewey Color in the line. Left very sharply from the 8 hole in his last. How's he been doing?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he got kind of torched there, 26 and change. That's just not his thing, So last week we left and tried to find a helmet, and he raced really good. He only got beat by 2.5 to a good mile, 54. Dropped that win off in 54 and 3. So after last week, I think he'd be really good in here. I mean, he hasn't been in non-winners at 12 since. I don't know. You have to go back on the records there to see when he's been in non-winners at 12,000. So. If everything goes okay, he's got enough speed to get him to get involved early. Nice horse, so I think he's the best in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, my as a handicapper, I would think, and I'm not going to give you driving tips, but I suspect it won't be too hard to find him during the course of the race.
Yeah, no, he can leave with a car, so we're going to be in play, that's for sure.
In the 7th race, you're driving the 3-horse Dream Sealer for trainer Richie Banca, and he's certainly had a lot of success on our Tuesday afternoon programs. He's come up short in the 3 tries since the Richie Banca claim, but his speed always seems to keep him involved. How has he been lately?
She was good. I tried not to move her to the front last week, but I got in a predicament that either it was first over or moved to the front, so I took my chances, and what wasn't the right thing to do. So I think she's better off a helmet, mile and a quarter. So I'm going to try to find her a helmet, get away second or third here. The 1 horse looks like a horse to beat in this race, and after that, I'm not really sure. So, she could be forwardly placed. The 2 doesn't really leave that sharp, so I think we get around him and then go from there.
Yeah, now you say that best off a helmet, particularly the 1 1/4 distance. This one's had some interesting races. One start, I know, she broke early and she came rallying big at the 1 1/4 distance. So you think it's better off when she's racing off a helmet at the 1 1/4?
I think so. She always gets caught late, and usually when she comes off a helmet, she has more trot on the end of it when you don't use her so much early. So 1 1/4 is, I'm going to try to, get her on a helmet.
She picked up the drive on the 3-horse Lucas Hall, again for trainer Richie Banca. 1 for 14 at Yonkers with the lone win coming earlier this year, actually at the 1 1/4 distance, 2 levels up at the non-winners at $12,000 level, but most of his work has come against batter, but off the board 2 tries this level, including a break in his last. Now, you drove this one, I believe, last year in New York Sire Stakes competition when he was in the McDermott barn. What was your impression of him?
Real fast, but just could never get around a half that great. And it looks like, when he's gotten older here, he's gotten a little better on the half. So, it shows a good mile here. Yonkers at 56 and 4, 29 and 1. If he can repeat that performance, I think we'll be in the winner's circle. Just got to be a little bit careful with him. We got the 6 hole. Not a real tough group here, I don't think. So I would suggest, I think we have a good shot in that race.
And have you noticed any difference? You've competed against him this year as opposed to driving him. Have you've seen that he just seems to be handling the half better?
Yeah, his lines indicate that. He's been, scattered all over New York that you really, can't really get a good handle on him. He's been Tioga, Saratoga. He's been traveling around different spots. So, I'm going by that one good line here last, 2 weeks ago, 56 and 4. Last week, 1 1/4, 7 hole, not much gate speed, got away 11, so he had no shot.
Well, if Jason says he has to the winner's circle, Jason certainly knows how to find his way there. So let's take a look at the 9th race. You're driving a horse you've driven many times, Prince Lomont. Again, from trainer Richie Banca, been somewhat of an ATM machine, picking up checks all along the way. Been a while since he's picked up the win. How's he been doing?
Yeah, he's okay. He's kind of a one-speed wonder. Got a little bit of gate speed early. Last week we got away decent. Kind of stayed there, but we're going to try to get him in play. That's the way he likes it best, and then, sit.
Yeah, it looks like you have the rail horse seems to have some speed, but a couple inside of him don't. So you think this is one you can put in play? Yeah,
and the 2 horse I think is by far the horse to beat. Magical work. She gets around this track really well, so I think she's the horse to beat by far.
All right, and in the 10th race, your driving horse, the 4 bouncing backs for now trainer Noel Daly, over $400,000 in career earnings, mostly for the late great Jim Raymer. He certainly has been facing much better all year, but was dropped to this level in his first try for Noel Daly. Tell us about that trip.
That was my fault. I know better to call on her if I don't have a clean shot to the front. That was my fault. I half choked her. So, she was pretty grabby there, and it was my fault. I didn't keep her quiet. So, she has enough gate speed that I ain't going to call on her. And, horse left under me last week, and I wanted to get around quick, and it just didn't work out. So that was my fault. I expect a better effort here.
You think this is a better position than you had last week to be able to get away from the gate?
Yeah. I had 2 or 3 leaving under me, and I knew I was the best horse, but didn't have the great hole there. So I know we're better than that. It was my fault, and hopefully I learn from my mistake there.
So if Jason Bartlett says that he has a big chance to win some of the races on Tuesday, I suggest you include him on the tickets, because that's how he's gotten to the top of the North American driving standings. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thank you.